Hey folks, this is Kelani. With everyone delving into the new content of patch 8.2, it's always nice to know if there's something you're missing, especially when that something might help you get a few extra rewards just a little bit faster. Reputation is once again one of the most important things you can go after in this patch because it's the gateway to so many different pieces of extra content. You need Revered with both new factions to be able to fly in Battle for Azeroth. You need Honoured and Revered to get your hands on some of the new super powerful essences, and they each have plenty of cool new items to pick up along the way, like pets, toys and mounts. So reputation is definitely an important factor right now. So let's have a look at how we can go a little bit further to farm reputation faster and easier for the Rustbolt Resistance and your new faction down in Nazjatar. I'm going to split this up because activities and values are different for Nazjatar and Mechagon, so let's start with Nazjatar first. Your first port of call is always going to be the standard daily activities. For Nazjatar you have world quests, daily quests and bodyguard quests. Each world quest you complete will give you 75 reputation towards your rep farming goals. Most of them also incredibly quick and easy, so this will always be a great use of your time in the new zone. There's also plenty of other reasons to get your world quests done in Nazjatar, so keep at it. We're all in the same boat here, so if you're struggling to get through your world quests, maybe try grouping up with a few friends, guildies or even random chaps out in the world. It can make everything so much more enjoyable sometimes. World quests are also key to completing the emissary quests whenever they pop up. We actually started patch 8.2 with a Nazjatar emissary quest, so it might be a few days before it comes around again, but if you want reputation, you should never, ever skip over an emissary. The emissary alone will provide you with 1500 reputation for the Unshackled or the Ankoan, so be sure to get those done whenever they pop up. It's an insane amount of rep for just a single activity. Daily quests are very much in the same vein. In Nazjatar you can pick 3 different daily quests in your faction hub. You'll run out into the world and collect plants, kill coral creatures or whatever else this new zone wants you to do, and then you can turn them all in for 50 reputation a pop. A little bit less rep for the daily quests in Nazjatar when compared to the world quests, but thankfully we have plenty of other things to do to get more reputation. They themselves don't actually reward reputation, if you've noticed, but they're still very useful in the long run. Each of these dailies will provide your bodyguard with 100 experience, and it takes 300 experience to rank up a follower, so that's 3 quests total. Whenever a follower ranks up, he'll get 250 reputation. So really these quests do kind of reward reputation, but you have to complete 3 quests before you get the reward. You can look at it either way I guess, but there's some more rep to be gained from these bodyguards. When you hit key milestones, you'll get a special quest which includes a goodie bag full of all sorts of neat rewards. The quest itself will give you 75 rep, but there's also a rep item inside the goodie bag which will provide you with 400 reputation. I'm not too sure if this is going to happen every 5 levels, but the first one happened at rank 5. At the very least it should happen at rank 5 for each follower, even if it doesn't happen at rank 10, but I assume it will. I imagine we'll see some of the milestone quests as we rank up higher and higher, so there's definitely plenty of reputation to be gained by ranking up these new bodyguard chaps. Something else to be on the lookout for, which is kind of related to the bodyguards in Nazjatar, are special quest items. These don't give you a quest in the usual sense, they're more like quest turn-ins. You won't see where the mob is on your map to turn it into, so you might have to do a little bit of research for these ones, but I've found quite a few of these items so far. There's Reef Walker Bark, Ancient Reef Walker Bark, and Giant Crab Leg. These are the 3 I've personally got my hands on so far, but I'm sure there's plenty of others. These come from very specific rare monsters out in Nazjatar, most of which require special circumstances to summon. These items are so valuable because they provide you with 2 of the most important resources when rep is concerned. The first is reputation itself. Obviously we want rep, and these items give you a good chunk of it. But these items also provide you with bodyguard experience. They're the only thing outside of the daily quests that I've seen so far to reward bodyguard experience, which is really interesting. For example, the Reef Water Bark gave 75 rep and it gave all of my bodyguards 20 experience. Not all too exciting, but the giant crab leg that I got gave me 250 reputation and one of my bodyguards 50 experience. That's a bit better on the rep marker, and the experience will definitely help get a few more rank ups later, but the ancient Reef Walker bark gave me 350 reputation and 100 experience to all of my bodyguards. So that's basically a free day of daily quests, but split up amongst the bodyguards. If you get 3 of these, that's 1 rank up for each follower, which provide 250 reputation per follower, 750 rep if you get 3 of these items, and that also gives you a bunch of experience. Bear in mind also that the second time gating quest that we have down in Nazjatar requires you to earn 3000 experience between all of your bodyguards, so that's also 300 experience towards that goal as well. This stuff can quickly snowball into amazing results, so if you ever come across one, be sure you hand them in ASAP. They're probably on a daily cooldown like everything else. I'll try and find some links to leave in the comments section below to help you hunt these things down a bit better. There is one rep item that you can get guaranteed though, if you can catch the event at the right time. The Summons from the Depths event in the middle of the map will always drop an Abyssal Conch. I'm guessing this will also be limited to once a day, but honestly I haven't seen this event all too often. Certainly not multiple times a day while I've been in Nazjatar, so getting more than one might actually prove to be difficult, but it's an extra 150 reputation for whenever that event does pop up. Another event that you might be interested in is the Battle for Nazjatar. Whenever the PvP event pops up, you can contribute to a world quest that's kind of like a bonus objective. Essentially, you just need to kill the opposite faction, but you can also kill their foot soldier NPCs down in Nazjatar to help progress this objective as well. So if you're struggling to find some pesky alliance, just go kill the NPCs. It's important to understand that the world quest is not the event itself. The event is to get 3000 points, or the highest within the time limit, and you have to get at least 1 faction kill to receive those rewards. That's 10 mana pearls and commendations and whatever else. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the other bonus objective bar you need to fill up to 100% completion by killing the opposite faction. It's a separate reward, and it seems like it's either on a weekly reset or it might just be a one-time deal. We'll see when the reset finally rolls around on Tuesday. That world quest will reward you with 500 reputation when you complete it, so there's yet another reason to run around with your war mode on, at least once a week at any rate. Another weekly task you'll want to keep up with is Mardivis's lab. You don't have to do anything too special in here to get the rep reward, but if you want the achievement you'll have to collect various empowering items to use different crystals to summon different elementals each week. If you can't be bothered with that, that's perfectly fine. Just use the machine and you'll fight the same arcane elemental every time. It doesn't really change the reward at all, it's literally just for that achievement. Each time you knock out the elemental in the lab and hand in the quest, you'll get 500 reputation. That quest is definitely on a weekly lockout though, so check back every Tuesday or Wednesday to get your next dose of reputation. With this event taking all of 5 minutes and it giving you such a large chunk of rep, there's no reason to not get it done. And then if you're fancying a bit more of a grind some days, you can also get 50 reputation for every rare you kill. Now this is limited to the very first kill of each rare in the zone, so you can't farm one rare over and over again. Even if you kill it on different days and get more loot, you won't get any more rep. So this is definitely more of a long-term thing, because the chances of you being able to hunt down every single rare in any given day or even a week is probably fairly slim. But there are 40 rares in total. That's a grand total of 2,000 reputation available by killing off rare monsters you come across, and let's be honest, you should probably be killing all the rares you can find anyway. Now the last activity on my list here might be a touch controversial, because I know a lot of people absolutely despise this feature, but I think it's also really interesting that some of the chaps in my guild who outright refused to touch the pet battle system have actually picked it up thanks to this patch, and dare I say, some of them might actually be having a little bit of fun. You've probably noticed the pet battle world quests on the map by now, and while they're actually quite typical these days, we had quite a few in August, they're worth quite a bit more than usual in Nazjatar. You'll get the normal rep for completing a world quest, but each legendary pet battle, elite pet battle, whatever it is, has a quest item tied to it. When you defeat the pet battle, you'll get the item, which always turns into your faction hub. Each of those quests will reward you with 250 reputation for your Nazjatar faction. You can see why some people are a little annoyed with this right now. There are 12 pets in total that can give these quests. That's 3,000 reputation that you can pick up very easily if you're able to take down all of these pet battles in one day, which is very easy if you have the appropriate pets in your collection and you know what you're doing. If you don't care about the pet battle feature at all and you've never touched it, that's 3,000 rep that you won't be getting your hands on anytime soon, which can definitely be very frustrating. Thankfully, it doesn't actually take too much effort to get started with pet battles, especially if you have a level 3 garrison from Warlords of Draenor. That is kind of key. There's a very strong combo right now of the Unborn Valkyr and Icky, or anything else with Black Claw and a Swarm effect, that can take down the vast majority of these battles too. So it's not like you'd have to pick up every single pet under the sun, just 2 will actually get you pretty far. I'll leave something in the comment section if you're interested in picking up pet battles to try your hand at some of these Nazjatar elite pets. It's not too bad, honestly. You can set yourself up in maybe an hour or 2. And I think that's it for Nazjatar right now, at least from what information I have. I guess you also get good chunks of rep from the storyline in Nazjatar, but that's kind of to be expected. Let's move on to Mechagon, because while a good deal of the process is the same, a lot of the values actually differ quite a bit. So as per usual, daily quests and world quests are first on the list. You can pick up 3 daily quests in Mechagon per day, and they'll all reward reputation when completed. Some of them reward 150, while others reward 75. I'm not too sure why there's a difference here, but I think there's usually 1 daily quest with 150 and 2 with 75. Please feel free to correct me if you've seen anything differently. They work as most dailies do: pick them up, drop them off, get your reputation. There is 1 daily quest available in Mechagon for everyone right now that's a little different though. One of the quest lines deals with building your own Meccano spider mount. You can get 1 quest per day, so it's kind of like a daily, even though it's not really a daily. It's not a blue quest, it's going to be a yellow quest, so just be sure to keep checking back each day and get those done. If you skip a day, you're just going to be a day behind. Not a big deal, but each of these quests will be an extra 150 rep. So it is just really another daily quest, and this chain will end eventually, so it will run out. I think there might be another quest chain that has 1 quest per day that I just started. When I handed in the quest, it said, you know, come back tomorrow, we might have something else for you, but that initial quest didn't actually give any reputation, so just make sure you're getting any and all quests in Rustbolt done and dusted. You should get a good chunk of rep. The world quest for Mechagon works a bit differently too, and yeah, I said world quest, not world quests. There's only ever 1, unless you pet battle, more on that later. Don't hate me, alright, it's not my fault pet battles are a thing again. So there's only 1 world quest, and it's fairly easy to complete if you spend a little bit of time in the zone. You need to open 6 chests, or kill 3 rares, or just do a certain number of activities in Mechagon. That's kind of it. There isn't really a great deal of variety here, so you know what you're walking into almost every day. Just spend a bit of time in Mechagon, you should be able to do your world quest. Now this world quest will give you a whopping 850 reputation for completing it, so you definitely want to make sure you're getting it done every single day. This 1 world quest is worth about 3 days worth of dailies, so if you have limited time to play, get the world quest done first. It's going to take your rep the furthest for the time invested. There was an emissary for Mechagon on the PTR2, but I don't think we've seen one on live servers just yet. If it does pop up, be sure to get that done as well. If it follows along with all the other emissaries, there'll be another 1500 rep in your pocket. Now, just like in Nazjatar, you can also get some reputation for the first time you kill any of the rares. For Mechagon, you get 75 rep per rare you kill, so a little bit more when compared to our underwater zone. There are 36 total rares in Mechagon for a grand total of 2700 available reputation from these pesky monsters, but at least they're worth a bit more than Nazjatar rares, right? I think a lot of Mechagon rares are a little weird to summon though. Some are locked behind the drills, so you'll have to wait for that construction to be available to get any of those rares, and some of them have very special summoning requirements. I guess we'll see how it all goes in the end, but farming rares can also net you quite a good chunk of rep in Mechagon. And then I said we'd come back to pet battles. Yeah, the pet battle thing isn't just for Nazjatar. There's 8 elite battles in Mechagon, and all of them have a quest item which can be turned in for some extra rep. Now the interesting difference here is that pet battles in Mechagon are only worth 75 reputation with the turn-in, instead of the 250 rep that you get from the Nazjatar pet battles. Were they both supposed to be 250? Maybe both were supposed to be 75. 250 does seem like quite a bit, or maybe the dev team feels like you can get enough rep in Mechagon Mechagon from the inflated world quest, or by getting more rep from rares than everything else. It's really curious that Nazjatar pet battles would offer so much rep while the Mechagon ones don't, but at least that means I don't feel as obligated to spam the Mechagon pet battles like I do with Nazjatar. That's a bit of a plus, I guess, even though I'm actually starting to enjoy pet battles again. It's weird, but it's true, but maybe that's just because my team is a little overpowered now and I don't really have to put much thought into it. And that's actually it for the most part, but while I was doing my research and digging a bit deeper, I did come across a rather interesting blueprint for Mechagon, the Rustbolt Resistance insignia. This insignia costs 1 spare parts crate to create. It's bind on account, and it provides you with 100 Rustbolt Resistance reputation. That's some fun alliteration right there, but that means we have a BoA rep token, which you can create at some point during your Mechagon journey. If you get this before Exalted, you can turn any spare parts you have into reputation, which might just be enough to finish off the Exalted grind, or it might be introduced as a catch-up mechanic for any ults you have. If you get this after you hit Exalted, you could use your spare parts to give your ults reputation. That's kind of neat, especially when you consider that some of the Titan essences you might want are locked behind the Rustbolt rep grind. If you want those on your ults, they're going to have to do the rep grind too, so a BoA token might help out with that. Either way, that's another source of rep either for now or for later that you might want to keep an eye out for. If you want to get a little extra out of your rep farming, be on the lookout for the Dark Moon Fair. That comes around every second week. I think it's actually up next week, starting on July 7th. That will give you a 10% buff towards all rep gains, so it's always handy to pick up when it's active. You could also save all of your pet battle quest turn-ins if you really wanted to. You can squeeze in for a little extra rep with the Dark Moon Fair buff. There are also new contracts for both new factions in patch 8.2, but they require you to be revered before you can purchase the recipe to actually make the contract. That means I don't think anyone would actually have this just yet, and if you're keeping up with everyone else, then you won't be able to use a contract until you're past revered too, but that could still help on your way to Exalted. Keep an eye out for these over the next week or so. I'm sure some of the crazy completionists out there will be hitting revered someday soon. And that's how you can farm reputation in Nazjatar and Mechagon for the 2 new factions in patch 8.2. We're gonna get flying before you know it. Was there anything on this list that you weren't aware of? How do you feel about pet battles offering up so much reputation? Are you going to dust off some of your pets to take advantage of that reputation? Or do you just not care enough about their little extra rep? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.